Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Successful with Schizophrenia. I'm Kylie, and I'm excited for our 19th episode. All right, so for this episode, we're going to be talking about what is schizophrenia. Okay, so this is going to be by the book definition. Schizophrenia is a serious mental illness that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves. People with schizophrenia may seem like they have lost touch with reality, which can be distressing for them and for their family and friends. The symptoms of schizophrenia can make it difficult to participate in usual everyday activities, but effective treatments are available. This is according to the National Institute of Mental Health. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. Serious mental illness. That's a little bit harsh. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I think it's a little hard to label myself as seriously mentally ill. But that's what most people would classify people like us or me or you, maybe. But how can we reframe that? Okay. So let's take a look at the word neurodivergent. In case you have not heard of neurodivergent, it's been kind of like a new trendy topic, like ADHD, dyslexia, you name it. Anything that wouldn't be neurotypical would be considered neurodivergent. And serious mental illness, such as schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, right, that would be included in neurodivergent. So rather than seeing it as an illness, maybe just seeing it as our brains behave differently than a neurotypical person. And that can be our superpower. Okay, it really can. Why? It brings us to our next point because some say it's a loss of touch with reality. That was my dog in the background, if you heard him. And although that may be true, let's reframe it, okay? Because when I've lost touch with reality, I have gone into like a spiritual realm or a spiritual world where I feel like it's the real world and kind of similar to the Matrix, right? Like the life that we live in is not real. And I'm probably not helping you by providing you this information, which I realize. But the loss of touch with reality is interesting to me because I've been listening to a podcast and she describes the spiritual realm about 90% accurate with how I experienced it when I was hallucinating really, really badly. Okay, when I had my worst episode ever, she actually explained that to a T. Funny enough, she had to be on ayahuasca to see the things that I saw when I was on medication because it is possible to still hallucinate even though a person is on medication. Okay, medication doesn't fix everything, fixes a lot of things, it helps a lot of things, but it's not an end all be all solution. We need to do things in order for the medication to keep working and for us to be doing our part so that the medication has something to do. We'll talk more about that later. But for the spiritual realm, back to what I was saying is she describes it as she was spiraling down, spiraling down, spiraling down, and she saw like different parts of who she was when she was growing up. And she also talked about how she had to go through like a spiritual hell. And hopefully, this doesn't trigger anyone, but I too felt like I was going through a spiritual hell. And I felt like there was an evil spirit inside of me. I won't give it power to give it a name. I'll just say it wasn't full of light, it was full of darkness. Okay. And she explained that dark spirit to a T how I experienced it. So creepy, so weird. So I actually hallucinated before she had this episode out. So it's not like I was influenced by her episode and what she was telling me. I just found it really interesting that she was taking plant medicine, right, to hallucinate, and she was seeing almost identically what I was seeing when I was hallucinating. And let that just sink in for a little bit. Like, if it was completely made up, right? If it was completely made up out of thin air, why would we be seeing the same things? And if I'm saying anything that really resonates with you, if I'm saying things that might sound familiar, think of it as like a dreamland. Okay. So something that helped me reframe it was not seeing the dreamland as a reality. Even if I was dreaming awake, right? Maybe like daydreaming. Some people call it hallucinating. I might call it daydreaming. We're in reframing right now. But that helped keep me aligned with reality and what other people consider reality, and how to decipher in between reality and my dream world that I was living in that other people have kind of lived in too. Because chances are I'm saying something that's resonating with you. Chances are you have felt the spiritual realm, or you felt darkness or an evil spirit, right? Or tactile hallucinations. That's one thing that happened for me a lot of the times. I felt like something was touching me, or grabbing me or pulling my hair, right? So they can appear different to everyone, but I'm talking about the general basis, right? Is probably similar to what other people have experienced. And if you want more on this, let me know in a caption, because I would love to go in deeper, deep dive in it. I would love to give you more details of like how I experienced it, or how the similarities were, or anything like that. But maybe reframing it to say like the spiritual realm or the dream world, giving it a separate location can help you decipher whether it's reality or not reality. Okay. So that's the way we can reframe loss of touch with reality. And then difficult to participate. Okay. So it could be difficult to participate in everyday activities like doing laundry, like going to work, maybe driving, right? Those are all everyday activities that could be challenging for a person with schizophrenia to manage. However, it's not impossible. I just view it as more focus is needed. So, for example, if I know that I'm not feeling well mentally, maybe I don't have music playing when I'm driving because I want my 100% attention on the road. Okay. Maybe if I know that I have laundry piling up, I won't lay in my bed until the laundry is completed, or at least half of it is completed. Okay. So it's just prioritizing what needs to be done, and not finish and focusing on finishing that before moving on to the next task. Because I noticed when I got overwhelmed, I tried doing 10 different tasks all at the same time. I would look at my closet and I would focus on my closet. I would look at the kitchen and I would see that I was preparing a meal. I would look at my dog and I would see that he needs food and water. Then I would go back to the kitchen, and you see how it just went in circles. Okay, so to reframe it's difficult to participate, we just really need to focus on one thing at a time. Now, this can be challenging if you have voices in your head, or if you're feeling pain in any sort of your body and you don't see it, but you could feel it, or you see it, but you don't feel it. You know what I mean? Hopefully, because if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know what I mean. Or is watching this video, you probably know what I mean. But one thing that really, really helped me was setting a timer. Okay, so I would set a timer and I would say, after 2 minutes, I will have both of my shoes on. In 1 minute, I will be out to my car. In 15 minutes, I will arrive to my destination. Okay, and having those mini goals lined up back to back to back to back helped me accomplish so much when it felt impossible to do anything. Okay, so it just means that we need to focus a little bit more on what we're doing, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. It's completely within our capabilities to do it. It just might take us a little extra time, might take us a little extra energy and focus, but we are 100% capable of doing things that the neurotypicals can do too. Okay, so I know that was a bit of a rant. Now let's talk about what's up next. And we're going to be talking about what are symptoms of schizophrenia. So I talked a little bit about it. Like I said, we'll go in a deeper dive next time. So we'll talk about the different types of hallucinations, or whether they're auditory, visual, tactile. We'll talk about that in great detail, and also I'll give you some basics on how to end those hallucinations, or at least it helped me end my hallucinations. So I really hope that it's helpful for you too. Okay, so you can catch that in the next episode. And as always, please don't forget to like or subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, well, follow on Instagram, uh, podcasts such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It would mean absolutely the world to me and everyone else who has schizophrenia or a similar diagnosis if you can rate and follow and share this with anyone who you think could help it, whether you're a parent, whether you have schizophrenia, whether you're going to a group, or whether you think your therapist might find it interesting. Okay, if you could just share it, like it, rate it, that would be amazing. Okay, again, this whole upcoming year, one of my goals is to build awareness of successful with schizophrenia and hopefully have a lot of followers. Now, I did see that I had 40 followers, or 47, sorry, 47 followers on um, Spotify, and I had 25 on Apple Podcasts. So thank you for my subscribers. Thank you for my followers. Love and appreciate you. Oh my gosh, and there's a heart. Okay, I didn't know that it could do that. But that's all for me this week. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll catch you soon. Bye.